Hello everybody, this is Tander Draco, and we've got a best of 5 here from October 25th, the finals of PocketBot Cup, the North America time PocketBot Cup for that Monday. And I remember these finals were pretty cool, so I'm gonna cast these for you. Let's get right into it. Tatanka and Melvin. So I've got Tatanka here in the yellow, playing as Glink the Chick. I've got the skin for him. And Melvin in the blue over here. I've got a couple of skins here. There's a Minecraft Copper Golem. We've got some Spooky October skins. So this was played October 25th, so pretty close to Halloween there. Got some Festive Spirit. So this is a pretty hype match. Tatanka has been dominating the meta lately with some of his Wolf Owl builds. He's got one right now. Wolf Owl Skunk Snake, and he's got the Lizard Turret variant. And the community has been trying to find ways of beating this down. Looks like Melvin's got a Badger Owl. So if we go, let's see if we go to a late game, and we'll see how those comps play out against each other. There's not really any consistent counter to the Wolf Owl. It's very stable. It's very flexible and well-rounded in a lot of ways. But Melvin is one of the strongest players out there. He and Tatanka have been back and forth for a while, since this summer and before. So it looks like 8 farms out of both of these players. Nothing too crazy early. No rushes. A couple of tier 1 Warrens. As the game gets going, let's see if these guys want to grab expansions. It looks like, yeah, first expansions same time from each of these players. 2 Warren expand. So no early game pressure yet. Got some lizards maybe moving out, backing up here. That cabin might start shooting at these lizards if Glink the Chick isn't careful, but not a huge deal. Couple of farms coming down. As we wait for this to get started, let me just say I'm going to be casting a few more replays here and there for the YouTube. I'll do Tooth and Tail replays as well as StarCraft Remastered, or Brood War replays, so let me know in the comments what you like and what you think could use some improvement. Definitely drop a like and subscribe. You'll see more of the content from these 2 games. I know I've got some Tooth and Tail stuff up there already, but I'm going to try to do some more casting. I really enjoy it. So Melvin here getting a lot of farms. Looks like 6 farms on the expansion there. Tatanka a little bit behind on the eco, but he's got skunks coming in, so a bit of a tech lead there. He's going to catch up on farms. Melvin going to all the way to 16, and he's going to get some skunks of his own. So Tatanka a little bit ahead on the tech, but a little behind on eco. It's going to be really good for Melvin if the game goes a bit long. Tatanka grabbing some snakes, maybe? Okay, grabbing the campfire there. And it looks like there's the wolf. Okay, so here's the big question with the wolf owl is when does the wolf go down? And the owl right behind it. Let's see if Melvin can scout that. I'm gonna check and see what Melvin can see here. He scouts the snakes. Of course, he doesn't know they're snakes yet. And he's going to scout the wolf. That's what he's looking for. Let's see what his response is. He's going to drop the falcons and probably go with his own. Yep, double tier 3 owl badger. The owl goes down for Tatanka, so that's double tier 3 from both sides. And it looks like we're going to see, in this macro game, we're going to see the 2 comps playing against each other. We'll see how the... it's going to be double owl badger from Melvin. We'll see how that fares. The wolf really is such a powerful unit, and it combos with the owl so well. It's just incredible. Not only is the owl faster, but it makes mice faster, but it also makes twice as many mice, and the mice end up being buffed, and so it's really a crazy comp. The mice end up being basically free units that don't cost any food. As the saying goes, owls never fallow. So it really allows, even if Tatanka is behind on eco, if he's got the Wolf Owl, it allows him to get a lot of efficiency, and it scales up really well. The more owls you have, the more insane it scales. So, but the Badger is a classic combo to the Owl, because it can rev up on the mice and start to gun down everything. So we'll have to see how Melvin does here. He's also getting a lot of Falcons, which are also very high DPS and invulnerable to mice since they're flying. Mice can't get up, so it's kind of a cool idea here. I think the wolf buff snakes can definitely deal with falcons, but it starts to become a micro battle. Also, the skunks are really nice against mice, so Tatanka has the skunk advantage here in this owl versus owl fight. Looks like the badger is out. Got some pigeons as well to help keep the badger alive. Pretty good pigeon count, and then there's 2 owls. So let's see, Melvin going to move in here. Tatanka's got a couple of owls of his own, so it's going to be the mice starting out this fight off, getting a bunch of skunk gas down. Tatanka, of course, with a big lead in skunk gas. A couple of snake tags hitting falcons, but the badger's revved up, starting to kill some pigs here. So it looks like a couple falcons went down for Melvin, and Tatanka lost a couple of skunks. Fight continues. Snake tag's going down on this tier 3, but the pigeons are here. An owl is going to go down for Melvin. But the wolf goes down. Oh, no. Wolf has 6 hit points. Okay. Keep that wolf alive is super important. That's the only thing keeping Tatanka's comp as efficient as it is. Looks like the badger goes down from Melvin, but his falcons are killing off Tatanka's expansion, so that's a high-value target. That expansion is all of the economy for Tatanka. Those last 2 farms here are about to fallow. Tatanka has the wolf and 2 owls, but no money, so he's going to have to kill these falcons. I feel like Melvin could actually back up here, wait for his second owl and his badger to come up again, since Tatanka is basically starving if it weren't for this one campfire. This is a really, really powerful composition, but Tatanka will be starving here soon. Melvin's going to grab a 3rd owl. Wait for a couple more falcons to pop out. Skunk falcon combo taking down a lot of the mice. He's going to lose a lot of his falcons, but he's keeping his owls alive here. And the badger is out. Just sniped another snake, so Tatanka only has 3 snakes here. If he can keep that badger alive, I think that that's going to be the game winner here. A lot of Tatanka's tier 2 is pretty low in hit points. A couple more snakes go down, and the badger looks like it's still really healthy. Last snake. I think Tatanka is going to lose his wolf here, and has Melvin done it? Taking a look at the tech here. Let's look at the army. Yeah. Tatanka lost a lot of really high-value units there, as well as being starving, so I think Melvin has done it. He's going to sell off his skunks and just go for the full owl, badger, falcon. Tatanka's going to try to get his wolf back up again and behind some turrets, but the wolf's not going to be here in time, and that means Melvin is going to have the higher mouse count, as well as the badger. Couple of snakes here for Tatanka, but they're not wolf buffs, and there's only 2 of them, so I don't think Melvin has to worry. I feel like he could have pushed in there, but playing it safe. Now, Tatanka is starving. He's going to get his wolf back, but he's going to have to sell probably his skunks, honestly, if he wants to not starve out, because he only has 46 food, and you need 120. Ooh, actually, you could buy that campfire for 60, but yeah. Tatanka is going to have to find a way to not starve out here. 3 owls and a badger. Tatanka's skunks are doing pretty good here at the engagement, but he runs out of food and he dies. Melvin takes game 1. So the classic answer to Wolf Owl has actually been early aggression, trying to kill it before it comes out, but here Melvin actually takes it head on and wins. So we're going right into game 2. So Tatanka, aka Glink the Chick, up here in the top, and Melvin, Copper Golem, in the blue in the bottom here. It looks like the same decks from both players here. Let's see if Melvin can do that again. or if Tatanka can get a better setup. Of course, it's possible the game just ends earlier before the Tier 3 comes out. Not every Tier 3 game, not every deck that has Tier 3 in it will get that tech up every game, so we could see definitely some early game stuff or some Tier 2 timing. It's like Melvin kind of grabbing a safety warren, then selling it down. Check the timing. Yeah, so Tatanka's 7th farm was just up a little bit quicker. Other than that, it's pretty even. Not a big difference. I think... Oh, it's the 6th farm. Okay. Yeah, that 6th farm there finished a little bit sooner for Tatanka. So, not a huge deal, but Melvin going to go ahead and grab an expansion here. Tatanka going to get some Lizard Warrens. Looks like he's going to go for 3 Lizard Warrens, maybe put some pressure on. Melvin going to scout that. He only has 1 Warren right now, so he's going to have to play a bit defensively. He's going to sell down the expansion. Pretty worried about the early pressure. I don't blame him at all. So we're going to have a little bit of a Tier 1 chicken. Pardon the pun there, Glink. Both sides basically not daring to tech up or expand until they both kind of have critical mass of Tier 1. There's the zombie squirrels for the spooky season, which I realize is over now, but I can always appreciate a little bit of spook, even if it's not October anymore. Halloween all year round, baby. Melvin going up to 21 squirrels. Tatanka right behind at 18 lizards. He's going to scout all that. 7 warrens right there. I don't think either side can really attack into the other. Both going to have a pretty heavy defender's advantage. So looks like Tatanka's going to tech up into skunks, which are going to do amazingly against Mass Squirrel. Skunks are just so good against Mass Squirrel. Mass Tier 1 in general, but especially the squirrels. Meanwhile, Melvin going to take that expansion again. A little bit of a slow start again for this game. Melvin grabbing his own skunks. And falcons. It's selling down a few of the squirrels, so it looks like he's going to tech up quite a bit here. Now, falcons are not traditionally seen, or at least in this meta, seen as a very strong mid-game unit. They're better as a late-game unit. Mostly because they just need tanks. They can do a lot of damage, but they're so fragile they need tanky units in front of them. But squirrels and skunks can do that. I tend to prefer snakes over falcons in the mid-game, which is what Tatanka is going with here. Both sides going up to 4 skunks, though, which is amazing. If you think 2 skunks is good, you should see 4. It's really the key number. Now, Melvin getting a little bit greedy here with his Tier 2. He only has 12 squirrels, so Tatanka could push in here. Maybe. Neither side really expanding. Melvin does have the expansion, but no farms down on it. Tatanka hasn't expanded himself yet, so both really just massing up the Tier 2. There's that first farm. I love to see it. And it looks like Tatanka's going to grab this ninja over here. There's a turret for Tatanka. It's not necessarily necessary right now. I think he could definitely, with the turret or 2, he could sell off some of his lizards to get some more farms. We'll see what his plan is for that. It's hard to see the chick. It's very small, leading the army. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I don't think the turret's really doing anything here. Doesn't look like Melvin is interested in pushing anyway. He's going to get a 3rd Falcon Warren, which is 6 Falcons is where they start to really get scary. He's going to sell it down. Okay, yeah, he's in favor of farming here. But like I was saying, 6 falcons is kind of the number where they start to get really, really scary as long as they still have some tanks in front of them. They start to counter snakes. Falcons, right around the 6 falcon mark, start to beat snakes. He's going to scout the ninja here, see the 3 farms. He's definitely ahead on farm count here. Tatanka going up to 6 snakes, and you know 6 snakes is good, but you've got to really micro it, and Tatanka definitely can. His snake micro is among the best that we've got in the community right now. You can kind of run through your opponent's army tapping the targeting button and kind of put a few tags on every unit right at the beginning of the fight, and then you pull your snakes back, fight with the rest of your army, and then at the end of the fight, when you've got kind of smaller armies on both sides, the snakes kind of spike up in power again. It's kind of a delicate micro, but if you can pull it off, they get a lot of value. So Melvin grabbing those falcons number 5 and 6. Like I was saying, that's a nice number to start getting. Oh no, he's going to sell it down again. Go with the owl. Very nice. So that first tier 3 does come out. They're very different tech path from Game 1. Game 1, they both kind of got into their Tier 3 pretty quickly. This time, they're kind of macroing up into these beefy mass Tier 2 armies. And then finally, that owl is going to get started here. Tatanka is pretty far ahead on farms, though. 10 to 8. And he doesn't have all his eggs in one basket. Again, pardon the pun there, Glink. Oh, I'm bad. I'm bad. He is going to scout the owl, though. Let's see if he got it. Yeah. There's Glink's view. He did catch the owl warren, which is great. He's going to throw down a wolf of his own, and looks like he's saving it for an owl as well. There it is. Wolf owl does beat owl. Melvin is going to have a small timing, though, where his owl will be out first. And it looks like he's going to add a badger as well, and another owl. So we might see wolf owl versus owl badger again. Like I said, a slightly slower path to get there. Both sides teching up to heavy Tier 2 armies, and neither side really daring to attack. Defender's advantage is just too strong right now with these kinds of compositions. You really don't want to attack in with these kinds of compositions unless you have mice, which are free. Snake's going to start tagging this mill, and the skunks are there to set down some early gas. The mill is tanking a lot of snake tags. That was 18 snake tags, some of which could have ended up hitting Melvin's army. But it looks like Tatanka microed his snakes and got all of the falcons tagged, so that's actually a pretty strong lead. The wolf isn't even out yet, and Tatanka is able to entirely wipe Melvin's army. Melvin's going to sell down some of his Tier 1 and sell down one of his skunk warrens. Tatanka taking that really comfortable lead. All his Tier 2 are going to heal up while he gets his wolf owl out. Let's check the army graph. Yeah, that was really well done from Tatanka. He definitely did not want to overextend there. He got his value and he backed up, waiting for his superior Tier 3 comp. Wolf is buffing that owl warren. The owl is out. Melvin's still waiting for his badger. I think he could push after getting the badger. Tatanka's gonna have a second and third owl, and that's where the wolf owl really gets scary. You have 6 snakes, and you start to get 2 and 3 owls, and it starts to become just so insane. But even just one wolf owl is definitely strong. We've got some forward turrets here. These back turrets aren't really doing anything, but we have an engagement here. Snake's just tagging mice right now. He's going to try to get in there and tag something more meaningful. He's going to back away, losing a couple of snakes here. This turret's getting a lot of damage in, but Pigeons also keeping all of Melvin's expensive units alive. He's dropped, both sides have dropped all of their Tier 2 or Tier 1 completely. No squirrels, no lizards necessary. We have mice. Looks like Melvin's feeling pretty comfortable to push in here. The snakes are not really getting many high-value targets. They're all just targeting mice right now. Tatanka isn't getting in there and targeting units down that he needs. He got one falcon tagged down. Melvin killing off that expansion here. Snakes are slowly dying. 4 of them have gone down and not really gotten their value here, so this is looking pretty strong for Melvin. Tatanka's second and third owls are about to come out here, but it might be a little too late. Tatanka is losing all of his tier 2. And again, I think the real struggle here is Tatanka's snakes are not really doing anything. He's not able to get in and target what he needs. Not able to kill the falcons or the badger or anything. Those owl warrens are going to go down. Now, Tatanka has 2 owls and a wolf. But Melvin's army is almost entirely flying. He's got falcons and pigeons and owls, which mice can't touch. And then his badger is not really worried about mice either. So Melvin is going to take game 2 against Wolf Owl. So it looks like Owl Badger is looking to be a pretty stable comp here against Wolf Owl if you can get it up. Hopefully the community can take inspiration from that. Where's our players? Looks like a bit of a desync. Just gonna fast forward to the end here. It looks like a desync. This should be a Melvin victory. Yeah, both players are starving out, and it looks like Tatanka is actually going to starve out first here. I'm not sure what happened to the replay. I don't recall this happening in the live games. So it looks like that is 2-0 to Melvin. Seems like one potential answer to the Wolf Owl menace. Let's see how game 3 goes. Tatanka in the left here, and Melvin in the right, in the blue. Same deck from Melvin, but Tatanka has a slight modification. He's dropping the turrets, didn't really need those anyway, the way Melvin was playing, and he's going to go triple tier 3. Badger, Wolf, Owl. So he's adding the Badger himself. So this time if all the tier 3 comes up, we're going to have Badger versus Badger, Owl versus Owl, and then Tatanka will have the Wolf, which really makes his tier 3 composition just that much stronger. His Badger is going to be Wolf buffed, his Owls are going to be Wolf buffed versus Melvin's Slow Badger and Slow Owl. So it seems like that could definitely be an answer from Tatanka. An adaptation to Melvin's anti-Wolf Owl deck here. This map looks like a pretty sparse map. All the mills, all the expansions are way up at the top here, which is going to be kind of hard to get to. And then we've got one kind of in the middle here that is a little bit closer to Melvin's side, but we might just see one base play out of both of these players. Might just see pure squirrel versus pure lizard, or squirrel skunk versus lizard skunk. Both of their decks are pretty mid and late game heavy, so early game, not exactly what they have in mind, but if we don't see expansions, that might be what we've got to have to deal with. Melvin could take this forward base, kind of, and Tatanka could take a ninja up here, but I don't know. There's no turrets either. With turrets and skunks, you can kind of hold a choke like this pretty well. In fact, incredibly well, but neither side has static D. It's all just kind of a death ball type army, which does not lend itself to trying to take this middle base. We'll have to see. Both sides going up to 4 tier 1 warrants. There's a 5th on both sides. Yep. It's more of that tier 1 chicken. Whoever blinks first and tries to go for an expansion or a tier 2 could very easily just die. You got to be really careful trying to tech away from the mass tier 1, because it leaves you open for a little bit of a window. There it is, Tatanka going for the skunks. If he can stay alive and get the skunks out, that gives him a big edge against the squirrel. Lizard skunk definitely beats squirrel. Interesting for Melvin going for a little bit of pigeon support here. Not generally seen as a good idea in these low-tech fights, but could definitely, yeah, especially against lizards, but could definitely help somewhat. We'll have to see. I think if Melvin could get some skunks up of his own, the pigeons would help more. Yeah, so he's gonna tech into some skunk falcon. Skunk falcon is a very classic tooth and tail combo. Skunk falcon pushes. It's not as in fashion now, like I was saying, but it's an oldie but a goodie. Tatanka going into the more modern double skunk tier 2. And here the pigeons make a little bit more sense. Combining them with some tier 2 definitely helps them get value. Honestly, I think double skunk from Melvin would have done really well against lizards as well, especially in these little chokes. I think the higher skunk count is definitely going to be strong here. Definitely potentially giving Tatanka an advantage here. He's going to get a lot more skunk gas down. That falcon could just die if he's not careful. He's going to try to pull it back. It does get picked off right away, and Tatanka's going to have superior skunk gas. Gas going everywhere. Now the pigeons are going to keep a lot of the units alive here. A lot of the squirrels would have died if it weren't for those pigeons, so pigeons definitely getting their value. He's going to try to chase and pick off these vulnerable skunks. Looks like Tatanka is going to keep them safe. He has snakes out now, which is a really important piece of this mid-game composition. If only Melvin's falcons were more skunks, I think they'd be doing better here. He's trying to pick off one more skunk, but Tatanka... Oh, okay, one does go down. Does back up there. It's hard to say. I think Tatanka definitely has more tier 2. 3 warrens of tier 2 for Tatanka versus 2 for Melvin. And I think Melvin is definitely dealing with the slightly inferior composition, but it depends on how you use it. The pigeons definitely can help. Second skunk on its way again. And he is going to try to take that forward base. I think if he just defends, tries to eco up and play defensively, should be all right. Tatanka grabbing this campfire. It's not adding up on the counter. The counter just says 4 farms for Tatanka, but this is kind of a 5th farm for him. And he's going to go for that expansion. So these are the expansions I kind of predicted, but it's a little bit precarious because you can always do this kind of pushing across. With snakes and higher skunk count, you can definitely poke in. He's going to get a lot of kills here. Skunk gas is going down everywhere for Tatanka. Going to force a sell on those farms. All of the tier 2 from Melvin is going to die, and Tatanka has... Ooh, okay, he saves 2 skunks and a snake. So it's definitely a favorable trade for Tatanka. Yeah. Melvin is going to try to hold off and utilize mill tanking to push back. Tatanka is forced to retreat with his low health skunks. But he did kill the expansion, and Melvin is going to be kind of stuck on one base. Meanwhile, Tatanka does have that extra quote-unquote farm here, this campfire, and he can take another one if he wants, but even just being 3 farms to 2 is a huge deal. And snakes especially do very well in this low eco situation, so Tatanka pulling ahead here in game 3. Melvin already on match point, leading 2-0, but it looks like Tatanka's going to get a point on the board here as well. Melvin is starving out, so he's going to go for one last push. But he's got 3 bases to kill in 45 seconds, so I think Tatanka's going to be all right. Especially with superior tier 2 numbers, and Melvin is going to tap. Tatanka puts a point on the board. Let's go into game 4. So Glink the Chick, Tatanka in the bottom here. Not all the way in the bottom, there's a bit of a empty space behind him. And Melvin kind of close to the top here. These are pretty close spawns between the two of these. I'd love to see the triple tier 3 from Tatanka come out and see how that fares. This definitely looks like a more defendable map with expansions for both players. Tatanka could expand backwards or forwards, and Melvin's also got a couple of expansions. So we could definitely see some tier 3 here. This is match point still for Melvin. All he has to do is get one more kill, and he'll take the series. But we could also see a reverse sweep from Tatanka. He's already started the trend there. Winning a game. Let's see if he can do it again. You always got to take these series one at a time. Melvin looks like he is going for a 4-farm double. But he's going to sell down after that second squirrel pops out. get his farms out. So 2 squirrels going to move forward. Tatanka has a lizard ready, and another 1 or 2 is going to pop out, so Melvin's going to back up. He's going to farm up. Now I think Melvin's on the defensive here with just the 3 squirrels, trying to get a little ahead in farms, whereas Tatanka could definitely put some pressure on with these lizards. He's got 5 lizards against these 3 squirrels. Definitely enough to kill a pig at least, especially that pig caught out in the front like that, unfortunately. Now he's going to clear the squirrels. Okay, yeah, he trades, what was that? 4 lizards died for Tatanka versus 3 squirrels and a pig, so very good value for Tatanka. He's going to get his 8th farm up and keep the 2 warrens producing. Melvin has 2 warrens of his own, but he's stuck on 7 farms queuing the 8th one, so he's going to be definitely behind. Let's check the income graph. Yeah, Tatanka basically ahead in every way. He's got his 8th farm up way before Melvin's. And he's able to get basically warrens 3 and 4 down before Melvin can get his 3rd. Tatanka also going to expand here. It's hard to stress how ahead he is after that. That was a crazy push. He just very calmly countered the rush and then counterattacked and got a lot of value. Both sides going to try to expand here. Tatanka just so far ahead. He's going to put down 3 farms. And he's still ahead on lizard count as well. I think Melvin kind of has to hope for some kind of an overextension. But Melvin's commander is gone, so there's going to be at least a pig killed here. Looks like another army trade. Tatanka is going to back up, so definitely a little bit inefficient, but he did kill a pig, so I think that's still slightly Tatanka favored, especially considering he's ahead on expansions here. Any army trade is good for the player who's ahead on eco. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it looks like Tatanka lost 5 extra lizards in that fight. 4 or 5. But he killed a pig, so I'd say it was pretty good for Tatanka. Melvin trying to greed up a little bit, but Tatanka's gonna move in, force a sell on 3 of those farms. Gonna have another army trade. Lizards are pretty good in this open fights. A couple of pigs are shooting in, so it might be an even trade, and Melvin will be able to. Oh, did Tatanka get the kill on that? Hard to say. But Tatanka here, on the other hand, is full up to 16 farms and still has the tier 1 advantage, going up to 18 lizards. Whereas Melvin only up to 14 farms and barely able to afford the 12 squirrels. So Tatanka just getting further and further ahead. You can really tell a strong player when they're able to keep their advantage. Here we have some skunks. And it looks like Tatanka can just keep putting pressure on. He just has more tier 1, you know? He probably could just attack in again and get some more kills. Here we go. He's going to grab the high ground and just attack in. A couple of pigs are going to fall. 3 pigs go down. And then he's going to back up. That was an amazing trade for Tatanka. Killing 3 pigs and having an even tier 1 trade. It's going to give him room to tech up even more. There's that 17th farm and the snake warrens. And we've seen already snakes are so good in these low econ situations. Melvin trying to get up his full expansion here. And a little bit of tech himself. So he's definitely behind, but he's trying to get back into the game, getting some tech. He's going to maybe pick off some lizards, chase him back. Tatanka also grabbing this base. I think that's just in case of a base trade. Some more skunks going down for Tatanka. Skunks are just such a strong unit these days, especially in these mass tier 1 engagements. So skunk gas going down, the lizards moving in. Looks like pretty even on the tier 1 so far, but the skunks just brutalizing. Now a skunk does come out from Melvin, but Tatanka has a snake coming in. He's going to start torching these warrens. And he's going to get away with the skunk's lives. And Melvin is just going to tap here. He's so far behind. So Tatanka able to grab an advantage in the early game and just keep that advantage all the way. So now we are tied up 2-2. Going into game 5. Is this the game where we'll be able to see the triple tier 3? I'd love to see it here. It looks like that's what Tatanka wants to do against the late game Badger Owl of Melvin. So Tatanka in the yellow here, on the verge of a reverse sweep, and Melvin up here in the right, trying to get that last win, is now tied up. Whole series is resting on this last game. Looks like so far neither side really wants to risk it with a rush. Gonna try to macro up. Glink the chick looking around, scouting the map. Melvin really keeping an eye on his opponent here. Gonna burrow back just in time to get the 8th farm up. Perfect timing there. So this map here, there's not great expansions. I think Tatanka's expansion is slightly better because it's on the high ground, whereas Melvin's expansion would have to be on the low ground there or kind of out of the way up here. So we might see some one base play again. Of course, you can get tier 3 out on a one base play, kind of a double or triple tier 3 timing. It's pretty close because right around the 5-minute and 5:30-minute mark, you start to lose your original pigs. And your econ just drops so much. This time Melvin is the first one to get the skunk down. If he can fight in a choke, the skunks should do really well against lizards. We'll have to see if Tatanka is going to go for some aggression here. Just mass lizard from Tatanka. Definitely a popular choice these days. Lizards are, they don't really have any direct counters. You can eventually tech away from them because they don't scale as well in very large numbers, but in early game and in low and medium numbers, lizards are just, they have no direct counter, like I was saying. So you gotta be careful against them. Looks like Tatanka is gonna move in here, get a kill on a pig. I like these lizards coming in from the other side. Actually, they're gonna get pulled through and killed off. So one pig was killed, but Melvin did definitely take the favorable engage there. Let's see, yeah. Tatanka lost 4 extra lizards and killed a pig. So in the long term, that's all right. But short term, Melvin has a timing here, and he's got a couple of skunks, so he's got to push in before the snakes come out. If the snakes can come out, I think Tatanka can hold. Otherwise, I feel like Melvin could have pushed in there. Could have at least killed a pig of his own. Now, the best counter for snakes is mass tier 1 at the moment, so getting more squirrels definitely will do well. So Tatanka's going to grab some skunks. Teching up very nicely. Melvin's trying to take this expansion here. Trying to keep active on the map with those lizards. So it looks like Melvin still has the army advantage, but still down that one farm. Ooh, this might be a big move. The lizard's moving in, and they're going to start killing warrens here. 2 warrens and a squirrel or 2 do go down. 3 warrens go down, and Melvin's going to try to pick off some extras. I think that was 8 lizards were picked off for the 3 warrens and a squirrel or 2, so that's value for Tatanka, again, if he can survive the counterattack. He does have a skunk and a couple of snakes this time, though. So I think this should be a pretty even trade. Those 2 snakes getting so much value. Melvin not able to get anything done there. He picked off 1 skunk, I think, and then traded the tier 1, but he lost his own skunks. And it looks like we're not able to see the triple tier 3 from Tatanka here. Melvin is gonna cheese out here. I think he knows that Tatanka's gonna go for a killer push with the snake skunk combo. Snake skunk is just such a crazy combination. So the reverse sweep from Tatanka, taking the series 3-2 after a very close shave, being down 0-2 at the beginning here. So very strong play and very good not to get tilted. Again, unfortunately, we weren't able to see the triple tier 3 yet. We may see that popping up more in the future. But Melvin proving he can counter the Wolf Owl once it comes up. But Tatanka just too strong of a mid-game player with his Lizard Skunk Snake combo. So with the game, both of these players kind of clowning out a little bit. This is PocketBot Cup, so pretty low stakes, nothing too crazy. Both players playing a little bit more casually, so you know these aren't the most intensive try-hard games, but good stuff. So thank you guys for checking out the YouTube channel again here. Thanks for the go ahead and drop a like and a subscribe. Please let me know in the comments what you think, what you'd like to see in the future, and I will see you the next time. Here we go. Let me give Tatanka the point. 3-2. All right, I'll see you guys later.